What is going on, squad? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money on the Trainer podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark. And in today's episode, we're doing a reintroduction. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is O. Yo, I stopped podcasting solo for a while. And I'm sitting downstairs, got my candles lit. It's a dark room. The ambiance is going on. And I just felt the urge to record a podcast, which I haven't felt in a really long time. And I think that for me, when I first started the podcast, I was in the beginning stages of my business. And obviously, that was like 6 years ago. And so, in the beginning stages of my business, a lot of the stuff that I was talking about was information that I was like learning and sharing with the audience. And then over the course of 6 years, like the information that I continue to talk about was no longer the information that I was learning about because it almost just became second nature, like posting on Instagram, you know, writing captions, doing videos, like all of that stuff is just like, it's just second nature. Like I literally don't even think about it anymore. And talking about it consistently just bores the fuck out of me, to be completely honest. So I just stopped podcasting. I just like lost touch. I lost like the passion for it. I just lost the drive for it. Like I didn't really care anymore, you know? So that's part of it. Another part of it is when my live streaming got disabled in March of this year, which I'm still working on getting it back up and running. I used to podcast and then go live at the same time. And so podcasting and going live was like a fun thing to do. So didn't like talking about the stuff I was talking about anymore. Lost my live streaming, so I couldn't podcast and live anymore. And that just led me to just take a break from podcasting. And when I stopped podcasting in March, we were getting about 100,000 downloads a month. And I just assumed that it would stay there. But then I just looked yesterday and we were at 33,000 downloads for the month. And I was like, holy fuck, that went down a lot. And honestly, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. You know, I was like, shit, I spent like 6 years building this podcast up and then I just stepped away. So allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brian Mark. I'm a business coach for online personal trainers. We're in the 1300s of the episodes now, which is insane. And I want to start talking about shit that I'm learning, you know, and shit that I'm working on and get this podcast going in a way that I actually am excited about. And one of the things that's going to do that is just me talking about like my own personal development and my own growth and what I'm working on. And so that's what we're going to do. And today's topic is going to be about the evolution that you must go through to become the person that you want to become. So for those of you guys that haven't followed my Instagram or aren't following my Instagram, we've made about $1 million a month every month for the last 9 months. It's only been 2 months that we missed it. 1 month we hit 975. 1 month we hit like 80. Highest month was 1.2. And I'm on the journey to scale this business to $2 million a month. Now, the people that I've had on my team have been the same people that I've had on the team for like the last year. And for the last year, we've been stuck at $1 million a month. And so I've been heavily investing in mentors. Like I've got a one-on-one mentor that I pay $35,000 a month to, heavily investing in ads, heavily investing in mentorship for my team. So like hiring my team mentors as well. And despite all of my efforts, the last 3 months, the performance actually, well, we had the event, which was great. But other than that, the performance stayed the exact same. And last month, I thought it was going to be the worst month of the year. It actually was a great month financially. But last month, I was expecting us to do better than we did. And when we didn't do better than we did, I decided that it was time to make a serious change. And one of the serious changes that I made is I let go of 15 people on my team. And some of these people have been working for the company for 3 to 4 years. And I have a very deep love for the work that they did and how they showed up. But the result wasn't there. You know, we weren't growing. We weren't breaking through to the next level. Despite all the efforts, despite all the things that I was doing, despite all the sacrifices that I was personally making, despite all the money that I'd reinvested back into the business to make this work, it just wasn't growing. And I think that in order to get to the next level of your life, you need to understand that you are going to have to shed some layers, you know? And for me, shedding layers was letting go of team members that I no longer believed were going to fulfill the mission. But shedding layers can come in many different forms, right? Shedding layers can mean that you move to a different city. Shedding layers can mean that you stop talking to that one friend. Shedding layers can mean that you disassociate with somebody that you know has been holding you back. Shedding layers can mean leaving the relationship that's toxic. Like shedding the layers means when you're on a growth path and you're like trying to get to the next level, if you're doing everything in your fucking power to get to the next level and something isn't working and you're not breaking through, it's likely that there's something in your environment or in your immediate circumstance, whether that be a friend, family member, coworker, team member, place that you live in, home that you live in, that's holding you back. And I had to take an honest look at myself. I had to take an honest look at the people that were around me. I had to take an honest look at the people that were in my life. And I had to make a clear, hard, firm, calculated decision that it was time to move on. And it's time to let some people go. And that process of evolution, of learning how to let go of people, places, things, and circumstances that no longer serve you is one of the most valuable things that you can do. And I've done this many times in my life where let go of a friend that was working in my business for years, let go of partners that no longer fit my vision at, my gym. I let go of friends that I've been friends with for years. And I did it all because I wanted to grow and I wanted to hit the next level of my life. I wanted to be able to provide more for my family. I wanted to be able to step into my power. I wanted to be able to actualize the things that I saw on my vision board. I wanted to be able to come to life. And like, not everybody can go on that journey with you, and that's like the hard part is I really do wish that, as I'm working on myself and pushing myself to the next level, that I can bring every single person with me. But that's not the reality. You just can't, and some people are in your life for a season and some, places in your life are there for a season. And that season, if you just continue to hold on to it and you never let go of the season, that season can become your entire life. And when I looked around at the results that I was getting and the numbers that we were hitting and the impact that we were having, I realized that I'm like, this isn't the season that I choose for the rest of my life. Like, I want a different season. And the reason it's so fucking important to let go of the people, places, circumstances, et cetera, that no longer serve you is because you only have 24 hours in a day. You don't have infinite amount of time. And you're sleeping for 8 hours, which means you have 16 waking hours. And in those 16 waking hours, the people, places, circumstances, and things that you spend your time on are going to determine your success or failure in life. And if you spend, 4 to 6 hours on people, places, circumstances, and things that are not productive for your life, then those 4 hours are taking up space and time in your calendar that you could be spending with people, places, circumstances, and things that will elevate you and take you to the next level instead of holding you back. And so that's the decision that I made. I just made the decision that I wanted to go to the next level. I made the decision that I was no longer satisfied with the level that I was currently at. I made the decision that I wanted to elevate. I made the decision that I was willing to make sacrifices and I was willing to, potentially hurt feelings. And I was willing to have extremely hard conversations so that I could become the best version of myself. I'm willing to invest in a mentor. I'm willing to get around people that are at a higher level than me. I'm willing to make personal sacrifices in my own financial life so that I can better the business, so that I can take myself to the next level, because I know what I'm capable of. I know what my vision is. And I know that if I just stay on path and I let go of the things that are holding me back and I move towards the things that are going to pull me forward and elevate me and take me to the next level, then I know with certainty that it's only a matter of time before I achieve every goal that I've ever set for myself. And so that's what keeps me going. That's why I make the decisions that I make. That's why I'm pushing so fucking hard. That's why I'm grinding so hard, is because I know what I'm capable of. I know what I deserve. I know that I'm worthy, and I'm not willing to accept anything less than excellence in my life in every area. And honestly, right now, that's fucking difficult. Because if we're being transparent, I got a wife that has a 1-week-old baby upstairs. And so I need to make decisions that cause me to show up as my very best, but I also need to be cognizant of the fact that I have a newborn baby. So not only do I want to show up as my very best in business, but I also want to show up as my very best in my physical journey. I also want to show up as my very best for my wife. And so it's almost like internal pressure, which is also why I just don't have time for people, places, and circumstances and things that hold me back. Because it's like, I don't want to be excellent in one area. I want to be excellent in all of them, So sometimes you need to know when to let go. Sometimes you need to know when it's time to move on. And that doesn't mean that anybody's worse or bad or whatever than you, but it just means if you are on a growth trajectory and you know what you're capable of and you know that there's some people in your life holding you back, then maybe it's time that you spend less time around them. Maybe it's time you make a clear and calculated decision to move away from them. Maybe it's time that you find a way to make some space in your life for some bigger things. That's it. That's all. Hope you guys have the best day of your entire life. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.